Brown Seneca-Soshin Elk Talk 14 Nirvana. As I have mentioned before, I draw deeply from contemplative wisdom traditions from around the world, both from the East and the West. From the East, Soto Zen Buddhism in particular, from the West, Stoic philosophy of the Greeks, and native indigenous wisdom and indigenous wisdom from around the world, and the Native American wisdom of the Lakota tribes in particular draws me deeply. That's how my name, Brown Elk, came to be, a play of Black Elk, the famous warrior and holy man Black Elk who lived around the turn of the 19th, 20th centuries, 19th century. So today I want to touch on the word Nirvana and what it means to us in our life in the 21st century. The word Nirvana, the concept Nirvana conjures up many images in the popular imagination. Of course, who doesn't know the grunge band Nirvana and Kurt Cobain? Nirvana also means or also has been understood as liberation or non-self and total happiness, liberation from the karmic cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. But another way to look at nirvana is to look at what it literally means, blowing out, as in blowing out a lamp or a candle. And here it is interpreted as blowing out harmful attitudes and appetites such as greed, aversion, and delusions, and replacing them with non attachment, kindness, and wisdom. And why I contrast this two sets of attributes or attitudes is in industry and professional life, we become greedy about how big our raise should be in a salary or what should be our stock dividend and how much revenue we should be generating more than what is reasonable and practical. I mean, it is good to be ambitious in a healthy way but never greedy, and that greed or lust for more can be very harmful. That is the reason why it is important to have non-attachment, in the sense that it is good to do well but not to become so obsessive to the extent where we become greedy and at times even violate ethics, and that kind of greed is harmful. And that's the reason why it is better to be more focused on the process of doing well, excelling, and being one of the best in the industry or even the leader, but never at the cost of succumbing to greed. The second one is aversion or hate. And this is a favorite one of mine because many of us in industry, we don't like doing certain things. But a job consists of many things, things that we like and things that are not necessarily our cup of tea. So we must motivate ourselves to do all kinds of jobs that come our way, either as an entrepreneur or as a salaried employee. And last but not least, hate people whom we dislike. Even if we dislike, there is no reason to be ad hominem or hate the literal form factor of the person. One can be healthily critical of the ideas or the wrong thinking they might bring to the table. So we need to replace that hate with kindness. It makes us much calmer and makes us think better, and also turns us into a much healthier constructive critique of things that we don't like, and also makes us a better all-rounded employee or an entrepreneur for doing things that don't necessarily stoke us or taste good to us in terms of our intellectual attitudes and aptitudes. The last one is delusion. Sometimes we ruminate and get into very negative cycles where we constantly worry, the FOPO, fear of other people's opinions, or doomsday thinking. What if this goes wrong, that goes wrong? If we think so intensely negative, we may very well put ourselves in a situation where that negative thing comes to pass. So we need to replace that delusion with wisdom. So to wrap up, nirvana literally means extinguishing harmful attitudes and aptitudes such as greed or lust, aversion, and delusion, and replacing them with non attachment, wisdom, and kindness. Thank you.